First and foremost, dude, I'm just so excited to do this interview for a very, and I mean very long time. I have been a fan of this gentleman, and the fact that he's joining us on Mix 94.1, truly amazing. MGK, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mix 94.1. I appreciate you guys for having me on here.
No, and dude, we're in Canton, Ohio. So if you know you're not aware, that's pretty much Cleveland South. And I think that's such a great place to start this interview. And like I said, I've been a fan
I
for such a
can't
long,
believe sitting on my backyard here in Cleveland right now
fantastic.
that I can't believe that you would think that I need to know where Canton, Ohio is.
Hey, well, dude, hey, I just, I'm letting the people know, it is. It's Cleveland South when it comes down to it.
For
In the
sure.
hall,
And it's my boy Trippy Red's hometown. So
oh, no doubt, no doubt. We
I
did a turkey giveaway with him last Thanksgiving.
right.
A dude that buys in, a dude that knows his hometown matters, and I guess in some capacity has probably taken that lesson from you. So speak about why every chapter of your career you've continued to put on for Cleveland, you've continued to put on for Northeast Ohio.
It comes down to the same way that I operate in the real world, which is like, man, like the people are what makes up the country. The people are what makes up, what musicians are successful. And, it made me the man that I am today. And honestly, like the smiles and the welcoming that I get when I'm home is always what I wanted from a family, which is something I didn't have growing up for real. So I kind of was gifted the blessings of a family environment from a city.
Uh,
And
you
I
see
like honestly, it's like the place that backs me up when I'm lost and and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And the city always kind of has my back. Uh, no matter the it's like when I came to do the pop punk albums, and when we brought it back home to Cleveland and we did the stadium, like that was a feat that I don't think anyone would have thought or guessed even 5 years ago was possible for an artist like myself. And Ohio stamped that for me, and it stamped it to the world.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Java Joel, who had done interviews with you for a long time,
I
I work
love
with him
that
now.
man. I love Java.
I knew you were going to say that. But he was talking about what an evolution it's been. And to go from where you started to Cleveland Brown Stadium, man, oh man, what a testament that is. But I think evolution is really what I want to focus on with this next question. Because, dude, throughout your career, you've evolved. And I've changed and the world has changed, but for some reason or another, I think a lot of people have had issue with the way that you've changed. Why, as an artist, do you think that's the case with you specifically?
Um, I think, that's a great question. I sit there and try to figure that out myself, but I think I actually ended up uh giving up on that answer, because if I focus on that too much, then I'm just never gonna continue to evolve or be able to do things that maybe people didn't know they wanted or needed in the first place. I don't think anyone needed a pop punk album or knew they I don't think anyone wanted a pop punk album from me. And when I put it out, they realized, oh, this is what we needed, and so with me, I think also too, like, I'm opinionated, I'm polarizing. I've done things where, I'm proud of, I've done other things I'm not proud of. And maybe people just mistake my bravado for, arrogance. And really it's just confidence in knowing that art is life to me. And like that I was born here for that purpose. So that I guess that can be a little uncomfortable for people too, where it's just like, man, why is this guy willing to always go out there and risk it all? And in these, it's like going and diving with sharks. People don't know why you do that until you're there with it, and you're like, oh, this is really like a beautiful, exhilarating experience. So maybe I'm just a little bit of like a shark diver, where people might just be like, why is he diving with sharks all the time? Those things eat you alive.
Yeah, and I'm sure the industry in so many ways has for you. But I think you keep drawing an interesting point. The idea that musicians really are anthropologists and a reflection of people, and at least the way that I see it, I think a lot of people probably are intimidated by your evolution because a lot of people still in the same position they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I think as your careers continue to evolve and you've pushed yourself, That is a part of why you're an artist, but I think that's a part of why you still continue to be a relevant artist 12 plus years after Lace Up came out. So I think that's definitely, like I said, a reflection maybe of the audience and maybe a little bit of those insecurities.
But all I'm trying to do is show people that you don't have to be insecure, that you really
Sure.
can. That's maybe they mistake it as I'm really just trying to create the yellow brick road for other people who may be uncomfortable to follow.
And I think as you've, grown as an artist, I'm sure it's also evolved in your personal life. And I think fatherhood's something I want to talk to you about because as soon as I get off this interview with you, I got to get over to a parent teacher conference. So being a dad really has just changed the way that I've approached things in my professional life and my personal life and just so many different ways. Speak a little bit about what, joining the best brotherhood in mankind has done for you.
I mean, I was at my daughter's volleyball banquet yesterday having that kind of same, just surreal moment of like, wow, I'm a part of the greatest creation I could have ever done, which is life. And um, it really, is kind of like our children are like a mirror of ourselves. So it's it's given me the best, like the most clear look of the man that I wasn't and who I wanted to be and who I had to work towards becoming.
So when you roll up to like a volleyball banquet or whatever, what is that like? I mean, you're not MGK. I mean, I know you're walking in there as a dad, but you inevitably are MGK. So just give me a little bit of insight about what that's like for you, your daughter, and really everyone else at that banquet.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's hilarious because I'm definitely the youngest parent there, and I think also, I have restrictions from my daughter on like don't wear no crazy outfits here. So
No, I'm sure she has to keep you in line, man. I'm sure she
yeah,
does.
for
And
sure.
no, there is just that element of fatherhood. You know, you're going to be an embarrassment, but when you're a celebrity, and there's this extra, level of like, oh my gosh, Dad, you can't come to this wearing that, doing this. So, no, I know it all too well.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm definitely still embarrassing.
dude, that's one of the
It
best
doesn't matter
parts
how
about
many
being a
records I
dad.
stole. I'm still a dad, and I'm definitely still embarrassing to her for sure.
No, I absolutely love it, man. We're talking with MGK. And dude, obviously, Lonely Road, a huge, and I mean huge song. You're going to be performing at NFL Munich. The halftime performance, I heard that German fans love country roads. What can we expect when you take the stage at halftime?
Well, that's what I heard too. So obviously, I'm going to give them a little rendition of Country Roads, and then I'm going to go into my rendition, which is Lonely Road, and we're gonna see how they what their fan base is talking about over there. But I'm gonna bring my guitar, I'm gonna bring my attitude, and I'm gonna bring my smiles because honestly, I'm just grateful to be able to play such a big platform, and I think I'm the first artist to do first American artist to do an international game like halftime show. So I'm checking off a bucket list box right there for.
No, those responsibilities are huge, man. That's got to be a huge deal for you. And obviously, getting John Denver lyrics sang back to you by a bunch of German people, man. Who could have ever guessed it, right?
I mean, I can't wait to hear how their accents sound singing that.
Dude, an absolutely awesome interview, a real pleasure. And dude, I know you have other things going on today, so I won't hold you up too long. MGK, thanks for joining us on Mix 94.1.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, guys. I love y'all, Ohio.
I thank you, appreciate you.
Later.